All right, friends, today we are moving on with our action plans. We're going to think about what the next 12 months need to look like for us to get closer to where we need to be, right? So, for the next year, what do you want your business to look like at the end of this year? It may not look like that big picture you wrote down, but what do you want to commit to making happen this year? I'm not saying what do you hope is going to happen this year. I'm saying what are you going to make happen this year? What's going to happen in the next 12 months of your Scentsy business? Break your big goal down into what's going to happen this year. We need to be really aggressive with that goal if you want to move forward. We need to be realistic with that goal. But I need you to say what you're going to do this year. So if you're a star consultant right now, I'd say in the next 12 months, you want to get to director. Set your dream paycheck. Set your dream title. What do those look like? I would say director and a $2,000 paycheck is a very good thing to reach for within a year. I do not want to set that goal for you. I want you to, if you want to go past that, if you need a $4,000 paycheck before the 12 months is up, I want you to know that you can get it if you want it. But as you break down the work it's going to take, it will probably look nothing like what you've already been doing. And it's going to look like a full-time job. It's going to look like a lot of work. But here's the thing. That's what this is. This is work. This is a job. This is worth it. And it's going to take sacrifices because you can't lose sight of that big why, because the sacrifices that it's going to take to get you where you need to go as fast as you'd like to get there are going to sometimes look, and they'll be lying, but they're going to look like you are sacrificing what matters most for your Scentsy business. But if you can really remember what matters most by focusing on your dream for your family, the future of your kids, the dream for you as a person, it might look like you're making some weird sacrifices right now to get there. But just remember how important it is to get there. And I don't mean writing a bunch of people off in your life and not being a good friend and not spending time with your kids, but it might mean less of things that your family might have gotten used to because you weren't working as hard as you probably were supposed to anyway, right? It might mean rewriting what mom looks like when she's home. It might mean rewriting the expectations that your friends have of you showing up and being the party girl everywhere, right? And I'm not saying that that is you sacrificing your family. It's helping them see your goal, decide as a family what's really important, which is probably those 529Ks for the kids, or being able to make their dreams come true when they dream as well. Or it might mean as a family, you've always known you wanted to live in a van and travel the world. Then we have to go, okay, family, if this is what we really want, we got to get serious about moving forward with this. And it might mean that we all pitch in to help each other more. It might mean maybe mom can't do it all the time, right? We have to be realistic with the fact that our families deserve what we're dreaming of. We deserve what we're dreaming of. It also means that sometimes you don't get to be the Pinterest mom. It might mean you don't get to be the mom whose house is perfect every time company comes over, right? We just have to start thinking about what you look like and what you need to have in your life in order to move forward with your dreams, right? And when I say your dreams, I don't want that to sound selfish, but I also want you to realize that even if your big why dream doesn't really involve something that's best for everybody, you still deserve to live your best freaking life in the one chance you've got. And it's okay to ask and sometimes demand that your dreams be important, right? Because a lot of times we spend our whole lives supporting the dreams of someone else, and then they never really take the time to support us back. And it might be reclaiming the importance of a mutual support. of a mutual, this is what you want your life to look like, this is what I want my life to look like. How can we both get what we want, right? When is it my turn for you to support me, right? So don't be afraid to be a little selfish once in a while. It's not, don't let anyone tell you what that means or what you should feel or what you should look like as a mom or a friend or a businesswoman or just whatever. At some point, we have jobs, and if we're going to do our jobs, we have to ask for permission for time. We have to ask people to help us. We have to, make time sacrifices, sleep sacrifices, whatever kinds of sacrifices that might have to be made where we get to move at a pace that we need to move at to make this happen faster, right? But if it's not going to happen fast and you can't make that happen, like I said, you can't get obsessed with how much time it's going to take. You need to be excited about the fact that you're moving forward and closer to what you need your life to look like. And it's really hard to have this conversation without knowing your specific goals because I am kind of being broad in general. But if you need help being reminded of how important your big goal is to the scope of the rest of your life, I can help. If you're having guilt issues, and guilt is just, that's not even a real thing. You have nothing to feel guilty about, but we do that to ourselves to stop ourselves. And you're going to have to get rid of that to move forward. So for our focus statement and our action plan here, we need to work on putting numbers and time on our goal. And we have to decide, like I said, for the next 12 months. In 12 months, where do we need to be? Divide that out by 12. Divide the work it's going to take out by 12. And be obsessed with making that happen, right? So your focus statement needs to be your goal for the next 12 months. Use SMART goals to set it. SMART goals are SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So your time-bound is 12 months. Specific, write down exactly what you want to achieve. Measurable, how will you know that you've achieved it? A lot of times measurable means money. So if you need to put a price tag on those 12 months, write it down, because if you reach this amount, you'll know, right? It has to be achievable. If you're not willing to do the work it takes to get there, it's probably not achievable. If you're not willing to set some time aside every single day, sometimes a lot of time aside every single day to get there, you need to reevaluate what's achievable for you. Relevant. Does it actually have anything to do with your belief statement and your life why? Is it actually going to move you that direction? So I need you to write down what your goal is for the next 12 months, put numbers on it. I need you to divide that by 12 and decide what that means you're gonna have to do. For some of you, it's $2,500 months and 3 new people a month when you've only ever added 3 people to your organization in a year, right? For some of you, it's gonna be ridiculously big and scary. But if you're willing to do the work and you're willing to admit you've not probably worked as hard as you could, and if you're willing to have hard conversations with the people in your life about the amount of time you do need to work a job that's bringing money in for your family, if you're willing to do what it's going to take, be real with what you think you can do. But don't make yourself small because that's all you're used to being, because that's not helpful either, right? So set goals that you could personally accomplish. So, and then for your action plan, I want you to create a list of things you could do to move yourself forward, to move yourself closer to what those goals look like. So if it's moving from a minimum of $500 a month to $2,500 a month, you need to write some stuff down on how you're going to meet more people, book more parties, do better with your follow-up, and stop settling for what you get at the end, but only settle for what you require at the end. Because a lot of people are like, well, I'm going to try for $2,500. You know what's going to happen if you only try for $2,500 a month? You're going to end somewhere around $1,250 and be like, I tried. But if you don't settle for anything less than $2,500, you're going to be resilient. You're going to be ridiculous. You're going to do things that you used to be scared to do because you refuse to stop at nothing less. It's okay to be that person. It's okay to refuse to stop at nothing less. You're going to hear a lot of no's. You're going to have canceled parties. You're going to have people who are like, stop contacting me when you text them from Maven. These things happen. But you have to have a plan A, then a plan B, then a plan C, and then a what's next, and then if I end up this much short in the last week of the month, what crazy things am I going to do? I don't care if that looks like standing on the corner with a sandwich sign, waving like an inflatable arm, wavy, inflatable dude. Like, I don't care what that looks like for you. What are you going to do to change your narrative, to change what you're used to, and to make crazy progress towards what you need to happen? So create a list of actions you can take right now. Whether that be, I'm booking 12 parties this week no matter what. And if I can't book 12 parties from the people I already know, I'm going to go find a way, right? And then tell us what that way is going to be. Create a list of things that home office offers you that could help you towards that. So think of things that Scentsy has already prepared for us that helps you towards that. I think that Scentsy Club is a ridiculously beautiful key to getting closer to our dreams. Because that's just a residual subscribed income. If you can get people to sign up for that, if that was your main focus, you'd be rolling in it. If you could get that going for you. So things like Scentsy Club, things like the Disney collection. Write down things right now, programs and products that home office offers that you could focus on, that you could plan around and be creative with, right? Training programs they offer, like, Jason every week and the consultant calls every week. Write down those things and commit to those as well. So do that. And then I want you to think about things that you're really good at. Write down your strengths. I want you to write down things that you may need to work on and what are ways you could work on them. Because sometimes we're really good at tearing ourselves down and say, well, we aren't that great at this, but then we just leave it there. So some of you, a lot of times are like, well, I'm just not good at technology. Okay, well, that's a choice you're making to continue not being good at it. It's not a skill we're born with, because we aren't born with phones in our hands, even if it looks like it, right? We aren't born with HTML knowledge. We're not born with creative writing talents all the time. But if a better internet presence is your goal, you need to find a way to learn what you don't know. And don't ask your sponsor to teach you. Go on YouTube and watch videos. Go sign up for courses at the library on computer know-how. It's your job to decide that you're not limiting yourself based on who you are right now. If you need to learn something to do better, you need to go learn it. You need to take the time to go make that strong. If you are bad at social media, there's 1,000 different ways that you could get good at it. YouTube, go watch videos, go take courses, go to Barnes & Noble, there's books on it, right? Make those weak things strong. Don't say, I'm not good at PRV, just put a yet by it and then decide what you're going to do to fix it. So create a list of potential challenges and obstacles. So as you try to move from 500 PRVs, and these are just numbers I'm making up in your head. I'm not saying you need to be writing down $2,500 PRV as your goal. You might need 5,000. I'm just saying you might need less. I am just picking, that's just the number I'm picking on right now, if that makes sense. It's just because I need something to say as we move into specifics. So create a list of potential challenges and obstacles and how you're going to overcome these obstacles. So say your goal is to move from 500 average PRV to $2,500 average PRV. List things that might get in your way of doing that. And then go ahead and start writing your plan to get past that. If you're prepared for it to happen, you're going to be able to pivot, swerve, real quick and fix it if you're prepared for the possibility of things to go wrong. Okay? So, and then I want you to think about the tools. So, what are you going to use to help you reach these goals? What are some systems and things like that? And then I want you to start thinking about who your 5 people are. And you've heard this 1,000 times. You are no better than the 5 people you hang out with the most. Are your 5 people below you? You might need to work on increasing your tribe potential. Are your 5 people complainers? Are your 5 people not in direct sales? Really think about who you spend the most time with, because these people are going to have the biggest impact on your ability to move forward than probably anyone else in your life. So you need to make sure that the 5 people you're spending the most time with are driven, motivated, encouraging. They don't let you give up. And that's not always your sponsor. That's not always your director. Like, I can't be in everybody's 5 people, right? Like, your sponsor can't be in everybody's 5 people. But they could be, right? You just need to find a way to be surrounding yourself with people who won't let you get down, who won't let you complain, who won't let you lose sight of what you're committing to and what you want, and will help you move forward and will give you insight, input, inspiration, that have talents that you can learn from, right? So surround yourself with the right kind of people. So I want you to, once you've decided on the action items you need to take to propel yourself forward, I want you to write those down somewhere too, that you can see them. So make sure your action plan is visible somewhere always. I want you to be aggressive about being obsessed with the action items you've written down. And I want you to write all of that below or take a picture of it and tag your sponsor. And just, I want you to process your thoughts about this video below too. I need you guys to be very conversational in this course. Don't just do the minimums. And the minimums are, here's what I felt about the homework. Here's my action item. I want you to get deep. I want you just to be bare. I want you to scare yourself with the vulnerability that you show while we move forward, because it's just really important. A lot of times your 5 people are probably gonna be people here with you. People that are just as excited about their big scary whys as you are, right? And so don't be afraid to open up and be vulnerable, because it's how we connect with other people. It's how people know whose hearts match theirs, right? So be open, be vulnerable. Don't be negative, but share what's on your heart, what you are excited about, what your big scary stuff is, the things that you might be weak at that you're excited to make strong, what you're gonna do to fix that. I mean, because a lot of times you might find someone else is like, dude, I don't know the first thing about how to start a blog. And you're like, well, I found this course that I'm gonna take. Do you wanna do it with me? I don't know the first thing about how to talk to strangers. Well, guess what? I found this book at Barnes & Noble. Do you wanna read it with me? Like, find people who are willing to move forward with you, who aren't okay with being in one place, that are focused on personal growth, that are focused on crushing their goals and moving forward. Surround yourself with those people, and you're going to find a lot of them in here. And be that person for someone else, because it's going to keep you motivated. It's going to help you stay accountable when people are counting on you to do what you said you're going to do, right? I hope that these last few videos are exciting you for the future of this course. I hope that you are still with us, right? Because this is heavy. It's gonna get heavy. Leadership is heavy. The possibility of what we get to do in Scentsy and direct sales is heavy. It's so big. It's big. It's amazing. So I hope you're kind of scared and excited all at once. I really hope you're taking this seriously. And I hope you're going to stick with us, because the thing is, though, being able to do every day of this course should be the least of what you need to be doing every day in your business. Because you have to start prioritizing something. This is a really good place to start. See you guys tomorrow.